Hello to you boys, and it carries me. Alright, let's see. It's actually Kevin! We're gonna remove that thing. Something Scottish. It's crap! Hey people! Hey Saltard, hey Louie, hey good guy. And hey Mr. Stone Cold Burner. How are y'all? What's happening? Lurk. Go be gone for a little while. Hydrates. Right. Pretty good. That's nice to hear. Oh, friend, I've had a busy day. Oh my gosh, so... Like, first I thought that I wasn't gonna do much today except stream. But we have a friend in a nearby... Or who's from a nearby city, and he was like, hey, I'm just suddenly in this city, want to meet up. I'm only here for a short while. And that city also has a proper cinema, which we don't have in my city. So I was like, man, I have streamed today, but a good friend is here, there's cinema there, let's make a day out of it. So I went to another city, went to the cinema, saw Fantastic Four, the new one. It's pretty fucking good. I'd recommend it. Best Fantastic Four film, hands down. And hung out with my friend and saw his parents and stuff. So it's been a day, and we just had dinner, so I'm fucking full. Came home like, what, 30 minutes ago. You should watch it. It's like it's clear in the trailer, but it's got that 60s futurist aesthetic. Kind of like the Jetsons. No, wait, all of you are too young to understand that reference. But there's a 60s futuristic aesthetic that I really like. That's very old school for Marvel, especially old school Fantastic Four stuff. And they're really playing on that. And they're just jumping over the whole origin stuff. Like in the beginning of the movie, they're just like, you all know how the Fantastic Four came about, so let's jump, let's go. And there's like a very good story. They bring in like an iconic villain, and they do it really well actually. Like it's a villain that's fairly difficult to deal with, but I think they nail it, honestly. Like they make it well. Hey, hoopsie poopsie. So yeah, highly recommend Fantastic Four. It's a good one. I just made the yummiest dinner. Oh, what did you make for dinner, bro? Bruv. What did you make for dinner, love? Picks in the disc in like 3 minutes. Oh, best believe we're gonna watch that shit. We're gonna go in there and look at it, and we're gonna be like, oh my god, that's good. Speaking of making dinner, like I need to do that cooking stream pretty soon. I'm very annoyed at myself for not having done it yet. No! We're gonna mute the sites. There we go. I'm trying to get into Twitch on my streaming computer, so we can lurk at with our friends and just be on Twitch. It's a pretty good idea. Let's see here. There we are. We're gonna do some Far Cry 3 before the fucking, like, the number's right there, and I say the wrong number anyway. Oh my gosh. I haven't even been driving that long today. Look at Discord. What the fuck? That's literally not what I was looking at. Ah! Food? Oh, honey soy chicken with rice and cucumber. That looks very nice, though. That looks proper well done. That's good stuff. Nice. Very nice. Alright, what are we gonna do here? F3 settings. Right, yeah, Mr. Good Guy has told us that there is gameplay, like multiplayer gameplay here as well, which I am excited about, but we're gonna do the solo stuff first. Ooh. Alright, I gotta change the volumes here as well. Oh, shut up. Do you have night mode on? Yeah. Like on Google, I think I have night mode on everywhere. Tried really hard because I wanted to be nice for girlfriend and my sister. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definite success, dude. Looks like some restaurant level shit right there. That is very, very well done. Alright, we're gonna... No, not easy. We're gonna do normal. Do we wanna do an offline or online? The Golden Path was formed when pagan men betrayed the royalists of Kirat and murdered their heir to the throne. I haven't played a single Far Cry game. I've always wanted to because they look really cool, but I don't know anything about them. The Royal Army are the dominant force in southern Kirat. They act as both police force and the military arm of Pagan's generals. Alright, we're gonna... when playing online, should you encounter any connectivity issues, your online session will close and you'll return to the main menu to re-establish connection. Ah, yeah, but that sounds fair. Why is it not in full screen? Windows, the yellow tint on everything. Oh, yeah, it might be like blue light filter stuff that I have on. That was the best chicken I've ever eaten, bar Nando's. Online mode, yeah, just because like you said you were gonna join later in multiplayer, so I'm thinking I'd better.
Mr. Gale, this is Chet Peterson from the US
have
Embassy here in Patna. I'm calling you pursuant to the application for a tourist visa for India with further travel to Kirat. We can only accept your status as a U.S. citizen as we have no official records regarding your Kirati citizenship. Furthermore, I must advise you against traveling into Kirat. We have no official diplomatic presence in Kirat due to the civil unrest with the Golden Path.
Right, interesting.
In regards to your intent to bring you the cremated remains of one Ishwari Gale, you'll need to bring with you the passport for the deceased. Your
Passport for the deceased. There's a fucking monkey on the bus.
Passport.
What is going on here? I gotta say, I'm liking the look of it so far. It's good stuff so far. Let's see here. Baby girl, ain't no way you ignored me and then say hey to good guy.
What's
Drama
happening?
in the chat immediately.
पटना बॉस पटना पटना में परवाह है तो बाढ़ में
I think they're checking for like bombs and stuff.
मैंने कहा आज नहीं कुछ है अभी तक कुछ
Oh my gosh, Borthold
कोई बात नहीं ये रखो
is celebrating
मिल गया कुछ मिल गया हेलो
3 years as an affiliate today as well. So we're gonna raid Borthold after this, and we'll shout. Oh, what the fuck? Also the volume. All right, I can turn down the volume here. Is the volume better now? Volume up. Volume down, me up.
I distinctly.
All right, here I am. Rock you like a hurricane.
Stop the bus. Yes. Stop
You can hear me now.
the bus. Not shoot the bus.
Stream lagging for you. I don't even have anything on.
Shoot. Stop.
It was very annoying.
Shoot.
Close some background processes.
Say.
The thing is, like, the gaming computer and the streaming computer are two different, separate computers. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be affecting each other.
One fucking job, but you couldn't fucking do that.
Had one fucking job and you couldn't fucking do it. Well, kinda sucks.
Fucking shells.
But like, I gotta increase the sound on my end here.
At least there's a silver lining. We didn't completely fuck it up. Get up, boy.
Yeah, it says here 3.9% dropped frame rates.
Recognize
Or dropped
those
frames.
eyes anywhere. I'm so sorry about this. This was supposed to be. Well, not this. We have a party waiting for you. But I don't think I know your
Wait, you have a party waiting for me, but. Alright, wait,
Is this your
so you
first
know who
one?
I am, but not the dude, the other dude.
Strong suit. I like it.
You like it?
I am terribly embarrassed about all this. This was supposed to be very simple, but you know, if you give food to monkeys, they just blow their shit. You know, would you hold this? For just a moment, I want to get a little picture right into the camera. There we are.
Alright, that's what I look like.
Awesome.
Cool.
Don't worry about a thing, my boy. This will soon be behind us. And we'll be off on a grand adventure. Because I have cleared my calendar for you.
Alright, pause the music. Because there's clearly music here.
Should I stay or
Should I go now? What, they don't even use the whole song? What is this?
You give my congratulations to Ashley on your next visit home. I must say, Paul, your little corner.
Is this
of
still
the
lagging, by the way?
Beautiful. I expected more. Chains and wailing, but knowing you somewhere around here is a dark place where the secrets flow like the blood. That wry smile betrays you again, DeFleur. Well, go on, take the bloody
Paul
bag
DeFleur.
off his head.
Seems to not be. My sister was complimenting my cooking and has made my day. Nice!
Sorry for what happened.
You're getting compliments on
This
your cooking is
is
fucking
more what I
amazing.
had in mind. So, fresh start. Introductions. RJ Gale, our guest of honor. Paul, our very gracious host. The little monkey, whose name I still don't know. And I, of course, Hayden. You really don't remember me, do you? Your mother, she never spoke of me, never mentioned. We'll change all
Had a
that.
better day at
All
work
in
today
cash.
compared to yesterday. Nice.
How
That's
much do you
good.
need? All of it.
We're all gonna go over to the UK and force Hoops to cook for us.
This smile. That's you. That's me. No, I'm not so sure anymore. Now your mother. Your mother, on the other hand, she understood me. She knew me in a way that no one
Ugh, dude. You're eating my mother's ashes?
The last time I saw Ishwari was years ago.
The
She
fuck?
told me she loved you. Women, they can do that. They can tell you they love you, but mean it. Men, on the other hand, no, men only really love you in hindsight. Too much distance has built up. So, when your mother decided to flee to the United States with you on her hip, I couldn't help but blame myself.
Wait, so Pagan Min is like my dad, or?
It's not me. No. It was the fucking Golden Path. Those fucking terrorists, they ruin everything.
Oh my
Like dinner.
gosh.
Did no one ever teach you that it's rude to text at the table? See it? Really, guys, we're not checking for these anymore? Ah, I'm with RJ Gale. You'll love this part. Help. A text for help. You don't text for help, you cry for help. So come on, you're gonna cry for help. You're gonna do something, you're gonna do it right. Here we go. Go on. Cry for help. Try for help.
Jesus, this is really fucking hardcore so far.
No, try for help. Help! You mean it, boy. Help! From your diaphragm!
Dang. Gang. Baby girl, just wait until I get my driver's license. You're gonna drive to England? You could. It's gonna be a hell of a drive, though.
Find out what he knows. Terrorists, right? Now, please, stay right here. Enjoy the crab rangoon. Don't move. I will be right back.
I want to put some sesame seeds on top, and all the packages said may contain nuts. I'd love like a pair of boxers that say may contain nuts. That'd be fun to have. Alright, let's see here. Ooh, we can play that. There we go. Video. Not windowed. Full screen. Graphics quality medium. Yeah, fucking apply, bro. And thus, the graphics were changed. Advanced settings, you say? FOV. VSync mode, triple buffering. Never mind. Alright. Yeah. My mad. I saw someone with anaphylaxis describe it as life-threatening illness. I was like, no, I don't have a life-threatening illness, but apparently it is. It is. Like, anaphylactic shock can kill you, so it's a life-threatening illness. You don't joke about that stuff. Alright, resume. Deplur's compound. Paul Deplur. PDP. Alright, very interesting. Can I grab the money somehow? Yeah! Alright, we got some militiamen down there.
What the fuck?
The fuck? I'm just so cool I haven't had anaphylaxis in like 12 years. Man, I hope you never have an anaphylactic shock ever again. I've only ever seen it happen to people, and it seems like the fucking worst. Hold E to search. Ammo for handguns? 13k? Nice. But that means the 1.6k I found wasn't that much then. Wait, do you have like an inventory or something? No? Not yet, at least. Oh, come on. Stop torturing my friend or whoever that dude was. He seemed like a nice guy. I mean, I'm not gonna rush down to the cellar, because as a good RPG player, I need to check out everything. Bell Tower broadcast. It has been brought to our attention that there was a recent attempt to sabotage the broadcast from the bell tower outside Banapur. We'll be posting guards at all bell towers until further notice. It is imperative that the message of our great leaders shared with all of Kirat. May Pagan's light shine upon you all. Alright. So clearly the Pagan Min, he's a fucking crazy person. Jumper cables, ammo for handgun, and more cash. I have the one where you don't outwardly swell, so it is scary as hell. Oh, dude. That's the dangerous one as well. Brass knuckles. Believer shine. Hey, bestie. Hold to read. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Total cost $16,000. The fuck? Name changes are not allowed. The airline may charge. That is a fuck ton of money. From Minneapolis to India? Can't be $16,000. All anaphylaxis is really life-threatening. Yeah. Don't work too hard. Hi, Daddy. I hope you're having a good time in Dubai. Mommy said you were merging 2 banks or something, but I hope you don't have to work too hard. Love you, Daddy. The fuck? Is that Pagan Min's daughter? Or is it my daughter? I don't know. This... Oh, Jesus. This doesn't sound good. Use the fork. Now you know this can get lost worse. Right. I need to find a weapon. I need to find a gun. Somewhere. Why? I can't do shit. I just have to watch this happen.
My name is Sabah.
Oh, thank God they're here.
Golden Path. We're friends. I knew your father. We're here to rescue you, son of Mohan. What about DrVem?
Son of Mohan.
You are our priority. We need to get you out of here safely, no matter the cost. We already know you've been spying on DrVem would understand. Now stay close.
Who am I to warrant all this stuff? How you doing today, bestie? By the way. How's your stream today? I lurked a little bit, but I couldn't catch it all.
With these doors open, I need you to keep your head down.
Sadly.
For the truck. Move as fast as you can. Understand? Yeah.
Wait, the good guy's streaming now as well?
2.
Oh my lord. Fine, day 3 of tired illness, but I'm good. Wait. We got a... Arrgh. Good guy has started streaming as well. Wait, why won't it do a shout out? There we go. Haha. Give him a follow if you haven't. I was gonna stream again, but Hubs had a day and was cuddly, so no stream for me. Nice. Well, nice to cuddle, you know. Press. Yeah, shift. Oh yeah. I thought it was like, why is it a house? But it's an arrow. I enter the car. The fuck was that? Was that like a buffalo? No, an elephant?
What the hell? There's a gun underneath the dashboard. Use it. Whoa. Are we safe? Probably not.
Jesus fucking Christ.
On your right. Shoot them.
Fucking hell.
Watch out.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hold control to heal. Oh, really? Alright, control to heal though. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Jeez. What is happening here? Like, so far this game has been all action. AJ Golly, respond please.
Hello?
Thank you. This is about. Where are you?
I don't know. Fuck. The driver's dead.
Okay, listen to me. Look around. You should be able to see a tower nearby. I need you to make your way there. I'm on my way to secure it now.
You have started something, Doc, seeing as almost all your stuff is now streaming. Right?
Okay.
I love to inspire. I think it's important that people explore the possibilities and what they enjoy and like. Ah, there we go. Stealth fundamentals. The detection meter fills up as enemy spot you. Press 3 to throw rock. Alright. Wait, T to throw rock. Just want to talk to you. Yeah, it has, hasn't it? There we go. Hold E to search. We're gonna search him as well. Opium pipe? What the fuck? What am I gonna do with an opium pipe? I mean, I really hope you can sell shit you find later.
Keep looking. Everyone keep your eyes open. He's vanished.
They're like underneath here. Somewhere. Va?
Din dator kraschat.
Har min dator kraschat?
Hela
Nej.
din stream har kraschat.
Nej.
Vänta, nu är det tillbaka.
If I know him, he's trying to fix it as fast as possible. What? My stream crashed? The fuck? What the fuck was that all about?
I don't know. It completely crashed.
That's so weird. It's been doing that lately. What the fuck?
How about you're back?
Yeah, no. That is
Hello,
really weird. Hello. You're so beautiful. Yeah, I'm sorry for the crash there. That's weird. I didn't even notice it. What is up with this? Like now it says it's okay. Open the weapon wheel by holding and select the bait. Throw bait with to lure predators to the area. Oh, okay. We're live again, right? And now it says like dropping frame rate 6.2%. What is up with this? Like the computer's been off as well, so it's not that it's been on for too long or anything. Wait, why am I finding this many dead animals here? Attract predators and cause chaos among enemies.
He's close! Keep searching! Where did that shot come from?
I mean, I threw baits. What the fuck? Ouchies, ouchies. Hey, we're dropping more and more frame rates as well. What the fuck? %11.6%. Wait, you're writing he's back now, but it says I've been live for a while. Man, I'm worried about what's happening with the computer here. How much delay is there, really? Hold to cook it and release to throw? The fuck? I don't know. It still says, like, it says I'm live, but it says there's... that I'm dropping frames at 12.2%. Which I don't know the reason for. If I kill my Windows... I mean, I closed my browser. No, I don't want... No, I want the assault gun. We're gonna search... Birth control? Alright. On my side, I didn't even see anything. You're Santa Fe. Like I didn't even notice that I wasn't live anymore. Like right now, I barely have anything on. It's just OBS and Spotify, and it still says I'm dropping 9.2% of frames. Which means there's lag. delay's just like 6 seconds from me clicking the blurb and then seeing it on your stream. Gotcha. It's so fucking annoying though. Hold F to move? No, we're all good. It's much better now, but it was lag as all hell. Fucking weird. Yeah, the dropped frames are dropping. So it's like getting better over here. Has to be my Google Chrome that's taking up all that space and stuff then. That's so fucking weird as well. Oh, ha ha ha. It's so fun just doing a knocky sound on my stream, isn't it? Got you a bit though, yeah. Oh shit, that's a bear. That's a bear. And back. Alright, wait, so... Wait, so it's like dropping? Something updating or like you're freeze for me now and then going back. Look. Nothing's updating that I know of. No. It's super weird. Yeah, now I'm not dropping any frames either. It's all very weird, right? Conflict diamond? Dude. How much stuff am I grabbing here? But this is really weird, because like if I can't have my Chrome up while streaming, I won't be able to like check out other streamers or lurk in one stream while I'm streaming. Yeah. Alright, I'm annoyed is what I am by this. Gonna skin that dude. It's all super weird, actually. But yeah, it should be really good now. Like now it should be optimal streaming quality. Oh, ammo for assault rifle. This is the assault rifle I have, though. I'm gonna search this sewing kit. Alright, I can't jump up on there. I can't go in there. Alright. Loot bag almost full. How the fuck do I go into my loot bag then? You're in my employ to bring me strong and healthy animals. My subjects do not come to Shanath to watch crippled feeble beasts die mercifully. Ugh. Now either you provide me with animal more of tournament, or it will be you. Alright, so this Noor, we're gonna kill him. Because he traps animals and makes them fight for sports, so dude deserves to die. That's the way it is. Good afternoon, Miss Ducky. How art thou this fine evening? Immortals. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if there's anything fucky with my stream going forward as well. Because I apparently don't notice. Now it says 0% frames dropped and that I'm live, but...
You don't mind me calling, do you? Fantastic.
Fantastic.
You really are an excellent listener. Look, no hard feelings about the crab rangoon. I know it's not for everyone's taste. But you'll be pleased to know I had the chef executed for his incompetence. Or was it his family we killed? Regardless, next time I can promise you a better spread. That's the last time I'm kidnapping a fucking TV celebrity chef.
Alright, this pagan min is crazy. Like, proper crazy. Alright, we're going up there. Alright, so the game has clear set paths where you have to climb. And we kill animals to get bait. Ugh. Oh, come on. Oh, I actually did kill one of them. There we go. Loot bag almost full. We're gonna lure so many predators up here. It's gonna be our main thing. Yucky. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it still says I'm live and everything. So if I'm not live, then the game is lying to me. I am. Nice. Alright. Hold E to climb.
It's an honor to meet you, son of Mohan.
Son of Mohan.
All the way here on your own. Sabal is waiting for you in the tower.
Alright. Hey, thanks. Thanks for looking out, bestie. I appreciate you. Fool of yourself, you fucking labradoodle! I am, Stony. I am making a fool of myself. And you love it, don't you? You whore! How you doing, Stony? That's me? Is that me? No. Who's that? Is that me? Or do I just wish it was me? Oh, come on! Fuck's sake. Alright, sure.
Why are you guys helping me? You may not know it, but that name carries a lot of weight in Kirat.
Ducky, you're a poopy
Are those
pets.
army guys still looking for me? Pagan men will stop at nothing to get you back. Damn. Some of Pagan's men managed to track us. They'll be here any second. We're in for a fight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Oh jeez, you get 10 push-ups. I can hear the gunfire and shit in the game. No. There we go.
Ajay! Avalanche! Avalanche! Take cover!
Oh, come on. Gosh darn it. There we go. 1710 left. Yay. Oh my gosh. Nice that you slept well, Ducky. Happy for you.
You're a tough man to kill, brother.
Hello, Stram.
That's a good thing, right?
You do love me. It is very true. I am feeling the love. Prologue complete. Nice.
How did you know to find me?
Oh my gosh.
I saw Bacon's chopper nearby. He's never down this far south, and I wanted to know why. Lucky for you, we were in the area when we got Darpan's text. Well, we're here. Welcome to Banapur, home of the Golden Path.
I don't understand anything that's happening here.
Who's this? Where's Darpan?
I understand Golden Path is like freedom fighters. I'm some sort of son of a promised person, and Pagan Min is bad guy, obviously.
Darpan's dead. Hmm? And you brought me this.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't. That's true. It's very true.
Whatever this is, I'm just looking for Lakshmana.
We're in the middle of a fucking war. We don't have time for tourists.
I'm in 2 streams now. Yay!
What was I supposed to
That
do?
is
Just
the
leave
way
him
to
there?
live life, honestly.
I'm sorry, brother. Amita's a little touchy. I'll talk to her. As for Lakshmana, it sounds like it could be a temple or shrine. But if that's the case, it's in the north. The north is enemy territory, and we can't get you there, not yet.
Alright.
Go and clear your head. Come find me when you're ready.
Come find me when you're ready. Alright. I love that it says how far up you are on screen to craft upgrades. Alright. Crafting! Wait, co-op? Complete more campaign missions to unlock co-op. Gotcha. Carry up to next upgrade. Alright, we're gonna craft a wallet. Loot bag. Tibetan wolf. Wild boar. Dole. Alright, so you can actually craft stuff from skins at least. Oh, and we have skills. Love a skill tree. Did you hear Hulk Hogan passed away today? Yeah, I did. Playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. Whoa, dude. Nice. I heard Hulk Hogan passed away today. Not surprised, honestly. Like, wrestlers just mangle their bodies all their lives. Yeah, and Ozzy died yesterday. It's just like we're losing a lot of celebrities just this month. Heroin ration? What the fuck? Mom's note. Where can I sell stuff though?
There's new blood in the Golden Path. This is why we will prevail. You are leaving the mistakes of the past behind.
AS and get like turtles?
Look what the wind blew in. Make yourself a...
There we go. Hey Pixie! What up? New weapon unlocked. Nice. How you doing? Lurking in my alt account? Nice. We got an AK-47. Shotgun. Ooh, I love a good sniper rifle, especially in these types of games. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. How many weapons did we unlock here? We're gonna sell stuff. don't think I need the opium pipe. Or surgical glove. Don't need the spork. Birth control. Tiny Booze. You wanted to say hello. Hello! Hi, Pixie. Kurati Royals. I don't even know what that is, but we're gonna sell it. Brass Knuckles. No. Jumper Cables. Don't want it. Signed 8x10. Mom's note. No. I'll keep Mom's note. Recommended use, keep. Oh shit, it says recommended use and stuff as well. Alright, back. Can't wait for Drunken Collab. It's gonna be super fun, I think. 20% discount, buy and customize. I love a game where you can get access to all of these things so quickly. Roughly half of the elements of Kurat are painted in traditional festive colors. Oh, cool. Just because I have a Uplay account? Dope. Body armor. I think that's good. Can get more stuff later. Sidearms. AJM 9. I really like this type of gun, the M712. I just think it looks cool. Let's see, what other type of gun would we like? Thank you, Pixie. I will have the most awesome stream. What are we playing? I was thinking that we're gonna play like Repo and what's it called? Lockdown Protocol, Phasmophobia, maybe Devour. It's a me, a lurk. Thanks, Farah. How long am I staying up tonight? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe 2 more hours. Maybe until midnight. Maybe later. Let's see. I really want the weapon type sniper rifle. I really want the sniper rifle. Yeah, I'm gonna confirm that. Replace AK-47. Yes. Paint? Oh my gosh, I can paint it? Oh yeah. Like, yeah, I have a limited amount of money, but if I can paint a gun... I can't upgrade it. Hubs thought I should stay up to like 1:30. Oh, so you can like prepare for with signatures. So you can prepare for the stream tomorrow. Grenade launcher rounds. Bro. Maps? Ooh, don't hate a map. Items, masks, locations. Let's buy the locations one. That seems good. I want to buy it. Purchased. Nice. Hey, Bortol! What the heck? What the herk? Hey, Bort! What up? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah! I thought you were gonna stream for way longer. Or have you been streaming for very long? We out here stinking up the place. Bort flushed us. Welcome everyone from King Bortol stream. I'm DrVem, variety streamer. Today is Triesday because it's Thursday, and that means we try out new games. Today we're trying out Far Cry 4, which I've never played before, and it's super fucking violent. Like, it starts off with such a fucking just torture scene. Solid 5 hours. Nice, nice. Bortol is celebrating 3 years of affiliates. Bort is an amazing person. Awesome, cool, amazing is the long and short of it. If you don't follow King Borthole, you should. You're amazing. Yeah, welcome in everyone. So nice. It's awesome. That also means 7 more push-ups though. So I'm not entirely happy, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh my gosh. And I just bought this gun and I don't have the space for it. Which I'm very sad about. But I have a sniper rifle. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go. Raiding and running is totes okay. Thank you so much for the raid. Just that is amazing. I appreciate it so much. Get that ice cream on your insides. Get some cold cream on your insides. No, wait, that's also fucked up. What is this blue thing? Is there meth here? Hello? Or is it you? Or are you the one? Aren't you like a kid? And there's a revolver behind you? Teenager at best, right? Right, A or S? S is closer. No, just when you want me to join. Absolutely, dude. The thing is, like, I haven't found... I haven't progressed enough in the campaign to do the co-op mode yet. Just check.
What happened to him? He fell. Pagan floods the airways and we have to endure his bullshit. Enough is enough! I told him to climb up the old bell tower, take over the transmitters, hijack the broadcast locally. Except... I can do it.
Okay, so our first mission is to hijack the broadcast.
There's nobody guarding it, but it's a tricky climb. Promise me you won't fall.
Hey, welcome back from Adland ad viewers. I'm terribly sorry about the ads. But I'm very happy you stuck it out with me. Appreciate you and everything you do. Propaganda machine. Alright. Okay, so you start one mission, like you do one mission at a time, then. ¿Por qué? What is this? Smack. Purple leaf. Nobody's gonna get angry with me for doing that, right? Oh, fuck off, nobles. Oh my gosh. Okay. Also, all raiders, you can see I have a push-up debt. Thanks for the bits, nobles. I have a push-up debt. You can make me pay it every 15 minutes. And that means I gotta do the push-ups on stream. Hey, Miss Artie. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. I don't appreciate nobles, though. He's the little booty hole. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Oh, jeez. You get the 12 pushies. 12 up pushers. Oh, dude, that was an awesome emote you just gigantified, man. Are those your new ones? Oh my gosh. 3 new emotes. Showcasing them here. My god. Let's see here. If people aren't following nobles, they should. Thanks for all the bits, man. It's insanely generous of you. Nobles plays a lot of World of Warcraft. Has absolutely crushed Phasmophobia in a very short amount of time. 2 new animated ones, nice. You should follow them. Ooh. Hold your breath. Alright, we got an ATV, zip line. But I mean, how is this not the preferred vehicle? Oh, I'm not allowed to yet. Use zip line. Alright. ATV! Driving controls? I don't even care, man. Drive and shoot if you have a sidearm. Yeah, but I don't. Ooh, I like it though. Alright. Around! What up, X-Gamer? Pick up a grapple? Jesus. We're gonna search this dead guy. Tap, tap, tap. Camera lens. Nice. But this is like clearly something. I'm not picking it up because I have too many or what? Alright, and fucking hell. Guys, I found a grappling hook. Sounds like someone is yelling for help up there. Hold E to grapple. Oh, okay. So you just gotta look at a grappling site. Alright, so now we're learning how to grapple. Whoa! I'm gonna search you real quick. Kirati Royals. No, thank you. My Thurman. Okay, yeah.
Going down. Okay.
Wait, don't tell me. Hahaha! Alright, cool. Ow! Come on! Come on! Just because I shot your fucking thing? Reach the top of the bell tower to hijack Pagan Min's propaganda signal. I have no sound because I'm a Grandpa's camper. Oh, nice! Hope y'all are doing fine. Thanks for checking in, X-Gamer. Liberated towers to remove the fog. Map, give extra free weapons, and unlock new quests. Cool. Alright. I kinda figured that it would be something like that. Wait, do I only have 6 more bullets left in here? That kinda sucks, bro. Oh my gosh. Hi, bye. Pagan wishes to remind you the bell towers of Kurata have been officially condemned. These strangers are threats to safety, blah blah blah. May Pagan's light shine upon all. You can suck my dick, Pagan Min. Wait. How do I... Shouldn't there be, like, a melee button? Customize controls. Shoot. Yeah, no. All that is fine. Heal, throw. I'm okay with all of these things. Weapon wheel is Q. Melee, remove body. Alright, gotcha. That was a car. Alright. Alright, so there's like some platforming here as well. And this is the, like, you gotta climb stuff and shit. You gotta figure out where's the next place to go to. So far not that complicated, but I assume it's gonna get more complicated later. Hold to hijack signal. Sorry, that's how you hijack the signal. Alright. Cool, man. Hero's Refuge. Right, we found 3 new places. Ooh, alright, cool. Find and hunt the animals and use their skin in crafting menu. Arrows, bolts, or a knife for more skin. Gotcha. Collect scattered supplies and deliver them to the golden path in this quest. XP and rupees. Wish I could stay longer and have sound on. Far Cry is one of my favorite series of games. I'm probably gonna play this some other time as well. Just FYI. Aim and fire any sidearm while moving a body. Get an additional health slot for 3 in total. You're skillful enough to take twice as many leaves from each plant you harvest. Take reduced damage from fire and explosions. I am a sucker for resource gathering. So that's what we're doing now. We're gonna search this. Ammo for sniper rifles. Nice. We got a Gleammeow in the chat if anyone wants it. M skills? But I already did that. Alright. I'm just too quick for you, ain't I? Desperate need of supplies? Sure.
Lind, is that you?
There's nobody here by that name.
Damn it! He's overdue. Who is this?
AJ Gale. And who is this?
Ajay Gale? One moment. Ajay. Right, I know who you are. I'm Gopal with the Golden Pass. We could use your help. My unit handles supply drops for the cause, but I'm short-handed here. The Royal Army is resupplying troops in the air.
Alright, we're gonna customize controls. No, wait. You know what we're gonna try out? We're gonna try out... gotta go. Alright, CX Gamer. I wonder how that recipe would be a tofu or seitan for Mr. Vegan.
Okay.
New pad hot plugged. I can't move. Oh, that's not good. It's not working out very well for me here. What did I throw there even? Yuck to what? Tofu. Oh, come on. Tofu's really good. I fucking love tofu. Prepared correctly, it's super delish. Wait, ooh. There are blue leaves here? Where are the blue leaves? Plants are used to craft syringes. They're a powerful boost. Unlock new syringes in the skills menu. Cool. Then we're definitely gonna grab a ton of leaves. Hey Doc, if you sent me an amendment, would you test it out and give me your opinion theory? Oh, for sure, dude. 100%. Love testing out new recipes, especially if I have a good reason for it as well. Oh, come on. I can't hit these animals for shit. Can't search, loot bag full. Seriously? Wait, really? Alright. So those are monkeys I can kill then. If I could hit them, that is. Fucking hell. I'm gonna try to make it next week. Yeah, like, honestly, post the recipe in the food channel. And we'll, I'll try it out. There we go. Can't search, loot bag full. Oh, come on. How do I... How the fuck do I... How do I go into my loot bag then? I'll demon to you because I don't want to blow up the chat. Gotcha, gotcha. That sounds decent. Did I hit the dog? Okay. Wait, there are two? Alright. Keyboard and etc. Interact, heal, throw. Bait C4 mine repair tool. Next weapon NBX. Scoreboard map skills crafting progress collection. Why am I not seeing my fucking... There we go. Alright. I've deemed you, Doc. Which I should be veganized. Oh, thanks, dude. That is so fucking wonderful. Let's see. Skills. No. Crafting. Dole skin. Collection. Loot bag. There we go. Alright, we're gonna discard that one. Get rid of the hypodermic needle. Trade secrets, that's a good one. Green leaf, purple leaf, camera lens, snow leopard, mom's note. Alright. Go spend time with the GF. Thanks for the lurk, broski. Ah. Right. And now, I should be able to, right, make a bigger one of those. Get a bigger loot bag, I need more of the sambar. So more of these antler-looking motherfuckers. Alright, oh no.
I got the first package.
Great. One more to go. Good luck.
Loot bag almost full. We got a circuit board though. It's always something. Let's read this. Deep and sincere regret I have to inform you that old Isha's Rakshi stay closed for a while. Oh, Jesus. She lost her daughter. That is not ideal. Here we go. Hold E to take money. And let me see here. Collection. Man, like I really want all these skins as well. But yeah, I mean, like the blue leaves. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna grab another red leaf over here and a green leaf. We'll see what happens. Loot bag almost full again. Broski. Let's see what we can do with this. Jump, jump, jump. I'm not hating the climbing mechanic in this game so far. It's pretty cool. Right, you got doles over there. The dog thingies. No real, like no people here. Yeah. Dwight, you ignorant slut! Oh, I wish I was an ignorant slut, but I'm an intelligent slut. That's the worst. Hold to search. Plastic tiger? Gotcha. Jesus. Clean kill, double skin. Alright. I'm just gonna skin these fuckers. Are you though? I am not. I'm an ignorant hoe, if anything. An uncultured swine of a prostitute. I'm not gonna skin you. Wait, could I do something here? No, I couldn't. Let's see here. Sparklers! Oh my god! Yay! Headshots! Alright. Can't search, loot bag full. And we go into collection again. Loot bag. This is a really good way to learn where everything is in your bag. Or in your inventory overall. Craft syringes, craft upgrades. Crafting. Syringe kits. Four syringes of each type. Wild boar. Heavy ammo bag. Ammo bag. So, like, I really need to hunt things. So alright. Then the leaves aren't... I don't need the leaves, then. That's 2.5k for a leaf, though. I'm gonna discard that stack. Alright, sorry. We're gonna get rid of the green leaf. Purple leaf we can keep. Alright. It really seems like I need to get a lot of skins, is all. That's a bird. Is a dead bird? Oh, come on. There we go. Now I barely have any fucking ammo left because I'm an idiot. But I am enjoying my sniper rifle though, so that is pretty nice. Hold E3. Oh, I could have done that before as well. Oh man, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I do that before? I feel good. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, Panda. My doors are always open, so Lord children are welcome to visit me at the Golden Path training camp. Longimus. Wait.
Alright, I got them all.
Return the packages quickly.
Please, hurry and deliver them to this location. Thank you.
I will. Vroom, vroom. Yeah, how's Italy, dude? Man, I can't drive for shit. Woo-hoo-hoo! Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, apparently you actually gotta... Ah, shit balls. You actually gotta drive this thing. I don't have time to kill you, Wolfie. Whoa. Alright. Fuck me. Alright, we're just gonna go out into the forest here. Hope for the best. Whee! Fuck me. What is this game? Did I hit a bird? Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus. No cock like horse cock. Since your asshole in the shot. Horse cock. How am I gonna make that in the time they want me to make it? Do I gotta do it all over again now? You could not make it in time. Yeah, of course not. It's impossible, bro. Wedding photos. Sick. Golden Path supplies. .3D slide reel and a grenade. Dope. Jesus fucking Christ. A little whisk. That's a lot of pervy stuff going on there. What do you think about the game so far? I'm loving it so far. It's pretty fucking cool being able to like hunt and stuff. Oh shit, it restarted the mission. I didn't even realize. Well, I'm an idiot. New. He fucked up. Yup. You know what? We're just gonna open up the crafting menu, see what we can craft. Oh shit, a bait bag. Do I gotta? Oh, fuck's sake, Panda. Wait, I did 10 before. Did we push ups? So I did you fucked up. Alright. Here we go. More titty hurties. Titty hurties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get 10 out of me. That's what you get. I was just gonna say, I don't know if the wife is still up. Oh my gosh. I shall swoosh the wife right quick. Post haste. Oh my gosh. Did she do that so she could ask him to grab something from the kitchen? No. She went to bed and wanted kisses. Good night, wife. But I went to the kitchen to open up a window, so there's like a draft. Right, where does it want me to go, though? Like, it's obviously gonna be off-road, right? This feels like the wrong way to go. Those are dead people. That doesn't feel too good. Oh, it's just this close by. Well, I'm an idiot. Gotta have the good night kisses. That's very true. No. Is it here? Ouchies. Oh, it's in here. Great.
I'm here with your supplies.
Thank you, Ajay. I'll make sure these get in the right hands. Just leave them at the door.
I can't come in?
They're preparing a top secret operation in here. Sorry, orders are
We're
orders.
preparing a top secret operation in here. It means that they don't have anything planned for inside here. It's just a drop-off point. This is so stupid. I love it, but it's stupid. I'm hearing gunfire. There you go. They are bad guys. He's burning. Should I shoot him? Oh no, never mind. He burned out. Oh wait, what the fuck? Oh, so burning people can start like forest fires and shit? Don't shoot me, bitch. Honey badger skin? Nice. Old Isha's house. Alright, interesting. Cool. Oh shit, I can actually go up here. Interesting. Alright, so it didn't start a forest fire, which I'm very happy about. That would have been kind of bad.
Ready for whatever happens.
There should be a supply crate here or something. Alright, that's our base. When this loot chest for money, ammo, and stuff. We want to find the sandbar. Come on, start a fire. It'll be fine. Someone seen the movie F1 with Brad Pitt? I have not seen it. I watched the Fantastic Four movie today. I can highly recommend it. But I do want to see the F1 movie as well. Come on, start a fire. It'll be fine. Hey gang, do you have supplies perchance? No? Oh, nice. Got one. Eagles look out for their talons? Really? I'm debating going to drive-in tomorrow night. This is the second movie I'm not sure about. Oh my gosh, you have a drive-in? Drive-ins are the shit. What? It'll be fine. Trust me. I can't trust you, Stony. You know why. We need more Tibetan wolf skins. Assam macaque. You can assam macaque. Hunting syringe. Gadget training. Speed repair tool. Can I buy explosive arrows? Sticky explosive. Health syringe will restore force. Get an additional health slot. Or syringe. Run for your lives? What, from a fucking eagle, bro? Just... I'm gonna see if I can skin that eagle. Poor Bambi. No, it's not poor Bambi. I can skin it, baby! Black eagle feathers. Won't start a fire, but will happily shoot a deer. Difference! There are differences here. That's a dole. Assam macaque, Alliance appear, Baral, Assambar, Asian rhino. Crafting. We need Tibetan wolf skins. Pig skin, wild boar, dole. Some more dole skins. Basically, pig skin, Bengal tiger, Asian rhino. Explosive. I don't really care about explosives right now. Doles. Oh man, I have so many doles. I killed a bunch of them, didn't I? Alright, we're gonna check out this waypoint over here.
That was insane!
Okay.
Tell me I'm fine. As long as it's not a duck. I can't make any promises, Ducky. Like, if there's a duck that they want me to kill because it'll give me, like, good loot and stuff, I'm probably gonna hunt it. I'm terribly sorry to say, but that's the nature of things, you know? Doubt that there will be a duck, though. Bird, though? Hahaha, birdie. You're a super dead birdie. The fuck was that? What? What? That was really weird, right? That tree moved weirdly. There should be a propaganda poster somewhere here, right? Hold to spin money wheel? Oh! Oh, those are prayer wheels! Dope! Kira's Refuge. Location discovered. Cool. Planned pilgrimage. Aren't you satisfied with what you have here at Kira's Refuge? I'm gonna search this. I'm gonna search this. A Bible. Alright. Old Isha's house. There's a propaganda poster up here. And I'm 100% sure I saw a Tibetan wolf over here. Drive-in is a good place to make out. Ya pervs. Ya pervs. Just thinking about stuff like that. Wow. Now we got that expanded loot bag as well, so now I'm kind of happy. Now we can go hunting. I see that there's a button called auto drive, but I fucking refuse that shit. I mean, who haven't thought about making out a drive-in movie? It's true. Honestly, seems like the best place to make out is at the drive-in theater. Jesus, these ATVs go fast. Vroom, vroom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, I gotta listen to this. Alright. One series stand out to me. Well, what's the series that stands out to you, Panda? You're burying the lead here. You're burying the lead. You're saying like, hey, there's this awesome game I know. Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've heard about Ghost Recon. Never played any of the games though. But you're saying they're good games, yeah? Oh, come on. I gotta fucking... Get me some Ghost Recon, bitch. That's a... monkey. Is it here? Yes. Hold to grapple. There we go. Well, is the best, the new one, Breakpoint, is a bit too far in the future for me personally. Gotcha. Like, I've heard about the Ghost Recon games. I wouldn't mind trying them out. For sure. Oh, curva. Hello, Mr. Morse. Ooga booga. Oh no. It's the dreaded Hungarian. Whatever will he do to us? Watch out. Watch out, kids. Prepare your bums. The Hungarian is here. Sorry. Dodge. I don't mean nothing by it. Propaganda poster done. Hey, what up, gang? Skills? And motherfucker, I got skills that kills. Alright, so you got all these cables, but I can't jump on even one of them unless I'm at the very tippity-toppity. Just bust up my entire head and I'm flying to Hungary tomorrow, so there's no threat for now. Sick. I was like, that is one way to make sure the Hungarians don't kick you out. It's just like, no, look at me, I'm almost skinhead. Come here, Piggy. Come here. Come here. Piggy. Yeah. Die, Piggy. Let me skin you, Piggy. Oh my gosh. What are you gonna do in Hungary, boy? You gonna have a good time? You gonna have fun in Hungary? You're gonna have Hungary? Get it? Alright, we're gonna head back. Here we are. Yay. You going to see family? In the motherland? Oh my gosh. That sounds amazing. Chill with family for 11 days. Bro. Bro, that's amazing. And Mel, yeah. Why the fuck are we shooting at eagles? I mean, I'm still gonna skin it, because amazing stuff, but... And drink a lot of beer. You gotta. Like, very few Hungarians even believe in air conditioning. Fewer can afford it. And it's hot as balls in Hungary. I wanna find these fucking wolves. I wanna kill wolves. You're able to play multi if I want to? Wait, can I play multi-game? Can I play multi-game? Or have I just been fucking about? How do I check co-op? Complete more campaign missions? Fuck's sake. Just a small fan, yeah. That's the way it goes. Oh, that's been my experience every time I've been to Hungary as well.
What did I do to deserve this?
I'm not... Dude, I'm trying to, like, talk to you. I'm trying to trade. New weapon unlock, Stormer, Scorpion, alright. Sell. Fuck it, quick sell. Nice, so we kept the skins. At least. Malliance up here. Baral skins. I think I can sell the stack though. Because the Barals are fairly easy to find. Snow Leopard, Honey Badger, and Bear though. I can keep, I'm thinking. Buy and customize. Maps. South Kurat loot. Fuck yeah, baby. Massive Yalung. I mean, I'm gonna buy all the fucking maps. You can call me an idiot if you want to, but... Oh, I can't even buy anymore. That sucks. Don't be afraid of me, bro. If you're afraid of me, I'm gonna kill you. Alright? Get that? Suck a bitch. Gonna go now? Alright. Have a good one, Morris. Thanks for checking in. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Cool. Dope. That sounds kind of cool. Third person. The game is in third person, except for scoping. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But I mean, that sounds dope. I like a third-person shooting game. I don't mind that at all, actually. As long as the cursor, like, as long as you shoot where the cursor points, I'm okay with that. Banapuru village. Wait, can I fast travel to I can fast travel to that bitch. Oh my gosh, you're such an asshole, DrVem. How could you not understand that you could fast travel there? You didn't have to climb up there. You get a job. Hold to open. There we go. You make life so hard for yourself though, right? Hold to interact? Nah. Mohan Gale's journal. That's my daddy? Is that it? Nah. 500 You suck! Unless you use a mod where you can make it first person. But yeah, cursor's accurate as long as you scope in it, otherwise it would shoot with hip, which is less accurate. But that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'm not a huge modder anyway. Oh, come on.
Savannah
Really?
says I shouldn't be doing this. I am teaching you to protect yourself. Ah, the tourist.
Oh my god. Alright.
I'm Amita. This is Bhadra.
Hi.
Would you like something?
Look,
Chokyo, in Hungary, we speak like this.
We keep losing
We
soldiers.
have
The work keeps
we
piling
have a
up.
little bit of food for you.
I'm not a soldier. I want to help.
Don't be nice.
Sure.
Be a badass.
There's a farm not far from here.
I feel like my
The
accent
Nan
is not
runs it,
good
but she's
today.
old and she could use your help with some wild animals.
Kurva
I need
anyád,
you to
baszd
keep the
meg a
hides intact
kurva
to use
anyád,
this.
kis tiszta faszfej.
What are you...
This is how it has to be, yes?
Try again.
Yeah. But if you like to do it, it is almost Finnish with the Hungarian accent. Where is my bow and arrow? I totally missed it. Csak a kurva anyád. Where are you? Meet Canaan. Okay. So we will go to meet Canaan. I think maybe his mother should have named him better, yes? Now we are driving. Vroom vroom, we say. Vroom goes the little car. Oh, baszd meg a kurva anyját. You gotta judge him hard on this. What do you mean? No, this is not good. Oh my gosh. So many piggies. Hello.
Amita sent me over. She said you might have some kind of wild animal problem.
Hey, Amita, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
But she is just drinking.
Worms are a common nuisance for Canaan Farm. She's killed off a number of them, but this year they're especially aggressive, and I'm worried about her. There's a den nearby. Clear it out, huh? I think Canaan has supplies stockpiled somewhere on her farm that you can use. And Ajay,
Yes, she has stockpiles.
your kills. We can all
Throwing knives as well. Yes, good, good. Okay. Okay. So we go hunt. Oh. We will have... You will be prettiest girl at the party, yes. We are looking for Tibetan wolf skins. It is very good because they are the ones we want to kill. Clean kill. And you can cancel arrow. This is very good. We will skin you. Thank you. Vulture feathers. Where do I shoot it? Ja kurva anyád! Come back here. You asshole. Hold to search. Wedding photos. Oh, you got shot in head. Where is... I can hear the other wolf. Oh, we got a little ad break going on. Oh, Chuck. Okay. Now we see the wolfies. They are not nice. They kill everyone. It's very bad. Can I shoot all the way from here? Chuck, nay. Okay, so we go in the water. Oh, look at this. Oh, we find tea bags. Oh, someone has a tea party. This is the greatest show. You get killed. Yo. Now you are not alive anymore. I kick on you. Just put it in Discord. Thank you very much. I enjoy it. Very, very nice, Panda. You can use the controller if you really want to. For this game I can, but I don't know how to work it. It's been fucky with me. There's a lot of Tibetan wolves. I feel like I can definitely craft this now. Oh, we need more Malayan tapir. No. You meant for wildlands. Oh, good. Big sexy. Chock big sexy. Kish big sexy. I will kill you, Wolfie. No? Yes, I will. I will run up to him. Or are you running away? Shock. I want you to die. You say smash. Who are you smashing? Something is not right. I agree, because I can't shoot this fucking wolf for the life of me. Come here. Kurva wolf. There we go. Now you're dead. Oh wait, I could have used bait as well. Oh, shepherd fish, thank you for the follow. That is 250. Yay, you made us reach a goal. Köszönöm szépen, as we say in Hungarian. Why are you this way? No, wait, no, did my accent timer run out? No. It did not. What is, oh no. Now I have to check. This, when did I send this? Why can't I see when I sent? You need a better accent. Was 8 minutes ago. Timer check. Thank you. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Right, for you, Karu, I will break the challenge for you, Karu. Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for the raid. Holy shit. That's 16 plus the 10 I owe for breaking the thing. I broke an accent. I was supposed to have a Hungarian accent, but I failed just now. A minute shy because you raided me. I appreciate it, though. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, Cruise Raiders. If you get a raid and run, do it. I love that you were just here for a little while, just checking in as well. I'm DrVem. I play a variety of games. Today is Triesday. which means we are trying out a new game, and I'm trying out Far Cry 4. It's in the name. It's Far Cry 4. This is the second time I've said the wrong name. No, it's all good. It's all good, Kuru. It's all good. I have so many push-ups now that it's insane. It's insane. You saw I was on. I was like, heck yeah, nice. I'm very, very, very appreciative of it. This is like the second raid we've gotten today. This is insane. Get away from me. I was talking to something you couldn't see. Gotta get some of the debt done. I mean, no, I don't wanna do push-ups. It's so not fun. Wait, I gotta check how many push-ups I actually have, because the one I have here. Oh, fuck off, Ducky. Alright, so I got 1726. So if I do 10 now, I don't have to add the 10 I was supposed to add. Update that you need a better voice as there's only 2 minutes, it says. It's supposed to only be 2 minutes. Enemy changed it to 10. I don't know why. Like that man is fucking with me so much. All right, we're gonna pay the debt. Welcome to the stream. Wait. So. Whoa, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Alright, you got 10 push-ups there. Because I owed 10. Apart from the debt there. Oh my gosh. I hate push-ups. I got 1,700 more of them to do. So yeah, today we're just playing some Far Cry 4. And again, thank you, Shepherd Fish, for the follow. 250 is a goal. Oh my god, we were shepherded into the gold. Oh my gosh. Fish has truly... Oh, fuck you. Fish has led us to the promised land. The Holy Shepherd. Gatherer of lost streamers and... Oh, I'm gonna search your dead body. Why would you have a rice bag on you, dude? That's really weird. Just a big bag of rice? R to equip fire arrows? Wait, what? Whoa, dude. Normal arrow? And then E? For the explosive ones? Oh, gotcha, okay. Fish shepherded us to the... Yeah! Or is it like sheepard? Like a leopard, but a sheepard. Shepherd. Oh, come on, really? Sorry, Piggy. I gotta. You're made of stuff I need. It's shepherd like shepherd, yeah. That's... I thought it was, but, you know, I might be wrong. It's not always you're correct. How was your stream, Kuru? How's it going with Love and Deep Space? I saw that you were playing it before. I tried to lurk, but my computer doesn't like it if I have Google Chrome on while I stream. Because it's a big old stinky poop. Big bag of rice. Well, gee, maybe it was for his family. He'll never see again. Oh, come on, Stony. That's so dark. That is too real. Why would you... So real, so mean. Destroy the wolves then? Oh shit. I thought I was done with it. I never read anything. Oops. Alright, back to the wolf's den we go. Ah, man. Would you believe I actually have a driver's license? IRL, not in the game. Well, maybe in the game as well. Oh, yeah, of course. Wait. So... Fire arrow. Kablooey. Hey, bestie! Welcome back! You're the one murdering the people. I didn't murder any of them. They were just there. They had been killed by the wolves, and I eradicated the wolves. You can't be on my case like this, Tony. So mean. Woo! Oh my gosh. Also, if people aren't... Oh, shit balls. My bestie is here. She recently started streaming. I want to give her a shout out. You gotta check her out. She streams way more regularly than I do. She streams a lot of Warframe right now, but she's been known to stream Phasmophobia and Polya as well. I mean, you're on like twice a day, and you have such a chill vibe in your stream. And I mean, I love you, so there's that. I think everyone should be watching your stream. Right, wait. Is there someone here I gotta talk to? Hey, what up? Oh shit! I didn't even shout out Karoo.
Badra, how are you?
What the heck?
Good.
No, who am I even?
Brought you these pelts. I thought maybe you could use them.
Karoo who raided us. Oh my gosh! If you haven't followed Karoo, you should. She's amazing. I suck at the shout out thingies. I'm terribly sorry.
This one is about the life of a guru. This one is about the demon Yalung. This one is about the goddess Kira. And that one
it is fucking embarrassing. Karoo's got them chaotic, thirsty vibes. There's a lot of weird shit happening in Karoo's chat and stream. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's special. I think that's where Bestie's stream is heading as well. Just more chaos, more than she currently has. But yeah, Karoo is the best. I've only been in her stream like twice, but I love her. Karoo is amazing. The vibes. Shut up! I don't want to talk to you. I want to craft shit. I'm gonna craft a quiver, baby. Carry up to 90 items. Pigskin, wild boar, dhole, clouded leopard, Bengal tiger, Asian rhino, yak, wild boar. We have 2 things for wild boars. Yickety yak! You should do this. Hide my penis in a bush? Hide my tiny penis in a bush? Is that what you're saying I should do? Because I can't. It would be weird.
Longinus, you said?
Yes. He's a weapon.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That accent timer was fucked up. No, I accidentally started a second timer. I fucked it up just as it ended, the real one ended, because Karoo raided at that point. And I thought that it would be... ouch. Ooh, that was actually really good. I wanted to welcome them with a proper fucking normal accent. Is this a tuk-tuk? Oh my gosh. What is this? Mask of Healing loot chest. Hydrate. Oh, thank you very much. You are such a mess, my man. Don't I know it? Messy hair, don't care. We're gonna grab that mani wheel. Ooh. Boars. Check this. Yay! I am a tuk-tuk driver. This is actually kind of fun. Oh my gosh. Is that a penis in a cozy hoodie? Is it a duck penis? Oh my gosh. Yeah, follow. Join the Discord if you haven't already. I've been bad at being active in the Discord lately because we've had so much happening during the wife's vacation. We've had people visiting. Ooh, clean kill, nice. And stuff. No, it's Harold the Peen in a duck costume. Next time I stream, we can play it together. Yeah. That was the idea for this stream. It's just like a lot of stuff happened today that I hadn't planned on. Oh, come on. Fucking stay where you are, PV. There we go. I was gonna stream from 3 o'clock to like 10, so I would have had more time than I currently am spending. There we go. Better ammo bag. I could definitely grab another tapir. The tapirs are way over there, though. They are some cute penises. Shark, dino, chinks. Oh my gosh. That Blop. I gotta see Blop live sometime because those. Just the fucking emotes here are amazing. I gotta get them. Banapur. You know, we're gonna fast travel to Banapur. We're gonna see what's there. Oh look, there's a bed. It says there's a trader here, but where?
The golden path leaders.
Where would the trader be? I can trade with a locker? Really? Fuck off with this. Alright, I'm trying to stay awake to get me ready to be funny late tomorrow, but I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired. You should go to bed, though. If you're tired, you should go to bed. Sidearms only. Oh my gosh. Night sight? No, it's all good. Paint job. Oof, nice. Now we're gonna do the vintage paint job. I don't care that it costs 20k. That's an amazing paint job. You wanna squish? You wanna shake? You wanna pet? You wanna let it twerk? Oh my gosh. Jesus. 12 minutes is when it goes down. That is when it goes down, gang. Tomorrow, me and Bestie are streaming from late till later because we are doing a drunken stream with Nobles and some people from the HRI community. We're gonna play some silly games and we're gonna get alcoholically affected. And it's gonna be fun. And if you don't think it's fun, then you can go fuck yourself. No, sorry. Imagine. Enjoy my jokes. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna see what the fuck this mask is all about. Oh my gosh. What if I join tomorrow? I mean, you could, definitely, for sure, man. All I will say is that she has more 7 TV modes than her normal Twitch ones. Jesus Christ. Oh no, dead bodies. I wonder what you got on yourself. Old money? Wow, couldn't even afford that new money? Man. Poor ass, dead ass, motherfucker. Ammo for shotguns. Wait, what? Where are he hiding? What the fuck? How long have you been in the deep flow? You've been trampled by Kira and her hitting his slowest shoulder. The goat. Bah. Alright. Ooh. Wait. I gotta shut off the music then. The fuck? It's somewhere here. So it's call for deep. There it is. Oh my gosh. Alright, cool. Cool. Thank you very much. Cool. Alright, so you follow the sound of the mask. Guns for hire token 3. Very interesting. Very interesting. Alright, that's where we're gonna go. And go with that one. Freeze master, you remove or destroy. Why would I want to destroy them? They're like artifacts. But it feels like it's not as good to destroy them, right? You don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, Ducky sending kisses to Stony in chat. This is PDA, right? Shit. Man, the walk-ons are crazy weird with how often they get played. Oh shit. I'm not gonna try and hit you again. Bird. Birdie. No. I want to search him. There we go. Heroin ration? Dude. I'm happy I killed you if you're... Oh, Jesus. Alright. We won, right? Yeah. Pew, I'm one of the gang. Are we all friends now? Cool. Yeah, no, I know you didn't activate the walk on yourself. The blurps are just weird at times. Oh, fuck off. Wait, was there something there? Oh, just some boxes. I will worry about everything. You can't stop me from worrying. Wait. I mean, I don't want to do this, but... Oh, come on. Like, I'm shooting you in the head. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright. There we go. Oh no, and I can't even skin them? Oh, I can. Oof. Good thing I get something out of this. Chunk of flesh. Oh no, it's just this is just bait. Oh no, did I kill 2 turtles for no reason? Oh, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person, gang. Your new profile picture also shows up when doing blurbs. Nice. Nice. Got some more journals. Alright. Alright. Ooh. So there's like a mask out here. Boats. Boat. You're friendlies, right? Yeah. Ouchies. What the fuck was that? What even was that? Oh, fuck's sake! Ouch. Right, do I gotta shoot them first? Motherfucker. Hey, good night, good guy. Nice having you here. I appreciate ya. And thanks for the recommendation for this game. So far, loving it. Aviator's skin. That fucker. Gotta grab some air. It's kind of annoying that you can't see how much air you got left. Gotta say. Oh, come on. Ouchies. There you are. Okay, come on. Searching? Really? Ouchies. Can I please get the fucking mask? There we go. Nighty night, man. Have a wonderful time. Sleep tight. Or I will have your soul. Are we gonna kill rhinos? I don't know how that's gonna go. Probably gonna fuck it up somehow. Probably not a good idea. But I want the skin. This is a quality of life thing that I really enjoy, is that when you put a marker down on a map, when you actually walk on the marker, it disappears. So you don't have to manually unpin it or anything. That is very, very nice. Alright. Let's see where we're going. Where are people? There's a person over here. I'm hearing the shooties over here. Oh shit, that's a rhino. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to kill it with a bow and arrow, right? It's like literally hunting the thing over there. What? Are you shooting at me? No. You fucking better not be shooting at me, assholes. There's definitely some gunfire from here. Oh, okay, that's why. Gotcha, it's a training ground. Probably not with a bow. You never know, Ducky. You never know. Maybe this bow is just the best thing ever. No, it's probably not going to kill him with a bow or a handgun. Oh, hello.
Welcome. I am Longinus. And you are AJ. Welcome to my church. Away from church.
It sells guns?
Of course. For the meek shall inherit the earth, my friend. All they need are some good guns. Revelation 5:5. It is the most invigorating read.
The meek shall inherit the earth with the right guns.
Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and loose the 7 seals thereof. It is our Savior. It is our Savior returned to us as a lion, a warrior. So, I started thinking to myself, when the Son of God is reborn, what gun would he
I love how
use?
everyone in this game is just
When
fucking
Christ
crazy.
returns to break the 7 seals and bring about the rapture, he returns as a lion, yes? A lion needs teeth. What gun would Jesus choose? Deuteronomy 32:47? But there are no empty words for you.
No, the
but your
AK-47.
very life. But maybe Revelations 19:11. The discretion
9mm.
of a man deferreth his anger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A soldier knows. A soldier always
Christ,
knows.
gang.
For we
What is up with this dude?
rapture and survived it. You need guns to do righteous work, AJ. For every gun is a Bible. For every bullet, a sermon. And for every radio tower that you free from pagans' lies, I will give you something. A reward. It is the will of God. Here. This is for the first one.
Planetport is under attack! We need fighters here
Saban,
now!
what's happening?
We're under attack! Stay away!
Shit.
Go forth into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole of creation!
Jesus, alright. This dude's proper crazy. Okay, I can fast travel there now.
I wish you could remember what it was like back then, Andre. Your mother and I, with you on her hip, oh, those were the days. She was never happier than she was back then, and I should say the same for myself. We had such plans, not just for our little family, but for Kirat. It wasn't always like this. I long for those days, but then it's too late. I tried, I really, really did, but that place is ruinous. Try not to let them drag you down, Andre. Ishwari didn't send you back here for that.
Alright, we gotta change the bow for an assault rifle for sure. Oh shit. Ouchies, ouchies. They're shooting me. Ow. Trying to shoot with squirrel, I don't recommend it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that IRL. In the game, I feel it's fine. Ouchies. Alright, good. Now he's dead. Alright.
I'm here, Sabal. How can I help?
Damn it! Keep your head down and save whoever you can.
We're
I'm
gonna
not
search
far. I'll be
people.
there soon with help.
Because they have stuff on them usually. Undershirts. Ouchies. Alright, we're gonna get the high ground. Oh, it's the helicopter that's watching me. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh shit. No, I died. Shit. Maybe I shouldn't have died. That was bad. Bad choice.
Save whoever you can. I'm not far. I'll be there soon with help.
Which is more dangerous?
Poor woman, right? Nope, not you. Ouchies. Ouchies. Oh, come on. Alright, this is not going well for me. DrVem is fucking
Keep your head down and save whoever you can. I'm not far. I'll be there soon with help.
There we go. One more dead. Alright, now we're cooking. What the fuck? Alright. No, 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 what are you doing? Hello, I now have sound and read my destination. Alright, welcome back, X-Gamer. I am in the middle of a siege here, and I'm not doing too well. I mean, I'm like killing people. Oh shit. Oh shit! You can't run in front of me like that. Man. Where are the reinforcements then? Oh, there they are. Oh, come on. Thanks for stopping in, yeah. No, I'm dying more than that, I think. Alright, alright. I don't get why the grenades aren't working, though. I feel like they should. Why are the grenades aren't doing shit, man? Ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. Ouchies, ouchies. Right.
That's where we put Badra. Ajay, get her out.
Help Badra. Alright. How do I help Badra? Oh my gosh. You love the Far Cry series? I've never played it before. This is my first time, and like so far it's pretty freaking good.
Badra, where are you?
She's down here, a Hondo. Yeah, there she is. I'm gonna stop the stream fairly soon. We've almost been live for 3 hours. We get raided twice. Could we get a raid out to someone? Who am I gonna leave people with?
The people need to see her. It'll comfort them.
I think it'll be a good place to raid out from here as well. After a big cutscene and stuff.
Thank you.
You're okay.
This is what we get for rescuing Ajay.
Yeah, this feels like one of those games that you want to play more.
This isn't on Ajay, it's on me.
See you some other time, X Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you.
Hostage.
Fine. The outpost first. Without it, we're cut off from the others.
And we're gonna try logging into Twitch again. On the streaming computer. What? Return to sender. No, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something even better. No, wait, we're gonna... Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for the stream. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking in, even though I like just made it later and later and later and later. I'm really warm. I gotta go take a shower. I've been sweating like crazy today as well. We're gonna see here who we are. I mean, Nobles is live, so we gotta raid the Nobes. Let's see. / raid Nobles TV, baby. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow with Bestie, Lialbi, and Nobles, who we are raiding right now. We're gonna get Unhinged, is what we're gonna get. And it's gonna be super fun. Minimize the tray. Oh, I want to exit the application. Whatever. Alright, we're gonna raid Nobles. Tell them the doctor said hi. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Love you too, bestie. We're killing the sound there, and we are going over here. No. Nobles. There we are. And we are not